Imagine a world teetering on the edge of the unknown. A canvas of belief, rumor, and ancient wisdom. Then, a single object. A sphere, intricately etched, purporting to show the entire Earth. It arrived, not with fanfare, but with a quiet, undeniable presence. What secrets did it hold within its spherical form? What truths did it reveal, and what mysteries did it only deepen? This artifact, centuries old, speaks to us now, a silent witness to an era of profound transformation. A window into how humanity first dared to conceive of its planetary home. The year is 1492. A pivotal moment, a fulcrum in history. Europe, vibrant yet confined, looked outward. The lure of trade routes, the whispers of distant lands, the thirst for knowledge all combined to propel humanity into an era of unprecedented exploration. But what did they truly know of the world beyond their immediate horizons? What maps guided their ships, and what monsters filled the uncharted spaces? It was a time of both profound certainty and boundless, terrifying uncertainty, where every horizon promised revelation or ruin. Into this crucible of change stepped a figure known as Martin Behaim. Born in Nuremberg, a renowned center of trade and craftsmanship, his origins were steeped in a world of commerce and burgeoning intellectual curiosity. But his path would lead him far from his native Germany, across seas and through courts, accumulating knowledge and experience. Who was this man, truly? A merchant, a traveler, a cosmographer? Or perhaps, something more? An architect of a new global vision, whose ambition would redefine perception itself. Nuremberg, a free imperial city, was a hub of innovation. Its merchants funded bold ventures, its artisans mastered complex crafts, and its scholars devoured ancient texts and new discoveries. It was in this fertile ground that the idea for a new kind of world map took root. Not a flat, two-dimensional rendering, but a three-dimensional sphere. A physical representation of Earth's curvature. Why this unprecedented undertaking? Was it pure scientific curiosity, or perhaps something more pragmatic? A statement of power, a tool for trade, a guide for explorers yet to depart? Behaim's journey was not confined to academic circles. As a young man, he moved to Flanders, then to Portugal, a nation then at the forefront of maritime exploration. He likely consulted with cartographers, navigators, and even members of the royal court. This exposure to cutting-edge navigation techniques and newly acquired geographical data proved invaluable. It was here, amidst the bustling docks and whispered tales of distant shores, that Behaim's vision for a comprehensive world map began to solidify. The pieces of an unimaginable puzzle were slowly falling into place. The late 15th century pulsed with a singular energy, discovery. Portuguese sailors had pushed south along Africa's coast, rounding the Cape of Good Hope, opening a sea route to the east. Spanish monarchs, not to be outdone, sought their own path to the riches of Asia. The world felt simultaneously vast and conquerable. Yet, for all their daring, these explorers were often sailing into the abyss. Their maps, though improving, were incomplete, speculative. This was the backdrop against which Behaim would attempt to consolidate all known geographical understanding. Before Behaim, geographical knowledge was fragmented. Ptolemy's ancient Almagest, rediscovered and translated, offered a framework, but it was centuries old. Marco Polo's accounts ignited imaginations with tales of distant Cathay. Arab geographers contributed significant understanding, particularly of Africa and Asia. But how to reconcile these disparate sources? How to weave together fact, myth, and estimation into a coherent, usable form? This was the monumental intellectual challenge Behaim faced. To create a definitive statement of the world, as it was understood, or perhaps, misunderstood. Crafting a globe in the 15th century was no small feat. It was a complex undertaking, requiring skilled artisans, precise calculations, and vast amounts of information. First, the sphere itself had to be constructed, often from layers of linen and plaster. Then, the cartographic projection had to be transferred, the landmasses meticulously drawn, and thousands of place names inscribed by hand. this was not a mass-produced item. This was a singular creation, a testament to human ingenuity and painstaking labor. A physical embodiment of collective knowledge, forged with immense effort. In 1492, the year of profound change, Martin Behaim's great work was completed. It was dubbed the Erdapfel, or Earth Apple. A magnificent, large sphere, approximately 50 centimeters in diameter, resting on an iron tripod. For the first time, a comprehensive vision of the Earth, as understood by Europeans, stood before them, tangible and explorable. A culmination of centuries of thought and travel. But what did this Earth Apple truly show? And what, by its very existence, did it conspicuously omit? Its completion marked a milestone, but also hinted at a revolution yet to unfold. The Erdapfel is a marvel of detail. It faithfully depicts the continents of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Its surface is adorned with over 1,100 place names, countless illustrations of flags, coats of arms, and exotic creatures. Imagine routes of famous travelers, like Marco Polo, are meticulously traced across its landmasses. The oceans, while vast, are not empty, they contain islands, some real, some legendary. It was an atlas, a history book, and a work of art, all rolled into one spherical, compelling object. But how accurate was this meticulously crafted world? Gaze upon the eastern reaches of the Erdapfel. Asia, often referred to as Cathay, dominates a significant portion of the globe. Its shores are dotted with the fabled islands of Japan and Indonesia, albeit positioned according to the estimations of the time. The vastness of the continent is evident, yet its precise contours remain somewhat ambiguous, a blend of ancient knowledge and travelers' tales. This was the East that mesmerized Europe, the source of spices and silks, the destination that spurred so many perilous voyages. A tantalizing, distant land, mapped but still largely mysterious. The African continent, on Behaim's globe, reflects the Portuguese accomplishments. The entire western and southern coastlines are depicted with remarkable accuracy for the era, a testament to decades of arduous exploration by navigators like Bartholomew Dias. The Cape of Good Hope, recently rounded, marks a crucial turning point. Yet, the interior of Africa remains largely blank, a vast and unknown wilderness. What lies beyond the coastal settlements? The globe silently asks. A continent defined by its edges, its heart still beating with untold secrets. But as we trace the familiar shapes of Europe, Asia, and Africa, a colossal absence becomes starkly apparent. A gaping void in the vast expanse of the Atlantic. There are no Americas. No North, no South. Not even a hint of the colossal landmasses that lay just beyond the western horizon. The Erdapfel, completed in 1492, perfectly captures the geographical understanding of Europe before the full implications of Columbus's voyage reached the continent. A snapshot. A moment in time, frozen just as the world was about to shatter its own assumptions. What an astonishing paradox! The timing is uncanny. As Behaim's artisans put the finishing touches on the Erdapfel in Nuremberg, far across the continent, Christopher Columbus was embarking on his first transatlantic voyage. Two separate endeavors, both driven by the desire to reach Asia, but with vastly different outcomes. Behaim's globe showed the world as it was known. Columbus's journey would irrevocably change that knowledge. One a summation, the other a catalyst for an entirely new paradigm. Which vision would ultimately prevail? The world as imagined, or the world as discovered? So, the Erdapfel stands as a testament to the European worldview before the New World revelations. It represents a synthesis of ancient Greek geography, medieval Arabic scholarship, and the most current Portuguese explorations. It is a map of certainty, based on accumulated understanding, and yet, it is also a map of ignorance, blind to the true extent of the globe. This paradox makes it more than just a historical curiosity. It is a profound document of humanity's evolving perception of itself and its place within the cosmos. A snapshot of pre-Columbian certainty. The intellectual bedrock of the Erdapfel was multifaceted. Ptolemy's geography, with its intricate system of latitude and longitude, provided the scientific scaffolding. Marco Polo's vivid descriptions of eastern lands and islands filled in many of the details for Asia. But Behaim also incorporated data from contemporary explorers, including his own experiences in Portugal. It was a remarkable feat of compilation and interpretation, reconciling disparate sources into a single, cohesive vision. A grand synthesis, yet fundamentally limited by the information available to him. His sources, while best of their time, inherently shaped his world. The Erdapfel, though pioneering, was quickly rendered obsolete by the very discoveries it narrowly preceded. News of Columbus's return and subsequent voyages began to reshape the world map with astonishing speed. The Atlantic was no longer a vast, empty ocean but a bridge to entirely new continents. This original Earth apple remained a testament to a world that was, but rapidly ceased to be. Its value, therefore, shifted from a cutting-edge navigational tool to a powerful historical document. A relic, from a moment when our planet literally grew before our eyes. What implications did this immediate obsolescence carry? Despite its geographical omissions, the Erdapfel's legacy is immense. It stands as the oldest surviving terrestrial globe. Its creation marked a critical transition from flat, symbolic maps to a more accurate, spherical representation of Earth. It demonstrated the feasibility of projecting the world onto a sphere, influencing generations of cartographers. It embodies the spirit of an age, a daring ambition to capture the entirety of global knowledge. More than just a map, it is a statement of intellectual courage, a monument to human curiosity, frozen in time and revealing so much. The Erdapfel bridges two eras, the medieval world, with its blend of empiricism and legend, and the burgeoning scientific age, driven by observation and mathematical precision. It is a stepping stone. While inaccurate by later standards, it laid foundational principles for modern cartography. It reinforced the concept of a spherical Earth, made tangible for the first time on such a grand scale. It allowed people to physically grasp the interconnectedness of continents, even those yet to be fully charted. A crucial link, connecting ancient wisdom to future discoveries, slowly revealing our true place. Its immediate impact might have been eclipsed, but the quiet influence of Behaim's creation lingered. It was a tangible object that forced a reconsideration of geographical space. It provided a template, a vision of what a truly global map could be. Even in its imperfections, it spurred further inquiry, greater ambition, and the relentless pursuit of more accurate knowledge. It silently challenged the flat Earth assumptions, long before they were definitively debunked. A catalyst, perhaps, in ways we can only begin to comprehend. Its secrets still resonate. How did it shape minds not directly exposed to it? Today, the Erdapfel resides in Nuremberg, a treasured relic. It continues to whisper tales of a world both familiar and utterly alien. A world of 3 continents, surrounded by an imagined ocean, on the cusp of discovering a 4th. It is a powerful reminder that our understanding of reality is constantly evolving, shaped by knowledge, technology, and daring. Martin Behaim's Hidden Globe, a singular achievement born of an age of profound transformation, remains a monument not just to cartography, but to humanity's unending quest to understand its place on this ever-unfolding Earth. Its mystery, its omissions, its very existence, continues to captivate.